So I take notes throughout the day and I make my plan for what I'm going to do for a video for the next day throughout the day. And then I wake up and I think about all the different news that I collected and then try to come up with a theme for the day. And so the theme I planned for today was what I was going to call primary sources. But then as I woke up, I saw a message from my bestie, Tony. Tony Alt is if you anybody knows her from Iowa knows Tony Alt because Tony and I have been best friends for going back to going back to when I asked him to run for student body. I ran for student body president. I asked him to run with me. That's how long we've been best friends. Um, so anyhow, he and I then talked for like over 3 hours about everything under the sun. And so I didn't do the prep time to do this video how I normally do it. So let's just jump right into the PowerPoint of the hodgepodge of things that I want to talk about today. Let's see if I can do this without causing me having to stare at the screen closely as I did yesterday. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it. So far, not looking great, but can I do it? I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Yes, I got it. Okay. So instead of calling this primary sources, I'm going to call this the clogged toilets edition because Tony had not heard the news that the largest aircraft carrier in the world, the USS, the Gerald R. Ford is the largest aircraft carrier in the world. Anyhow, it had to pull out of the arena of the Middle East because it has a clogged toilet. And so it's going to have to go to um, Singapore probably and get cleaned up. And it'll within 10 days, it'll be back here, presumably. Who knows? Every day is a new day, but that's why this is called the Clogged Toilet Edition. If you clicked on this video because you want to understand why I named it the Clogged Toilet Edition, you're done. You can leave. That's all I'm saying about clogged toilets. Um, So again, I was trying to make this the primary sources video, and I thought so. One of the things I saw yesterday was a headline from the Daily Mail: "Fleeing Dubai expats cause sharp rise in rent prices." And I'm like, in the world of economics, if people are leaving, that means there's going to be a huge supply of apartments available. So why would rent prices be going up? And all this is, and I sent this to my British expat friends, and I was like, can you explain this to me? And it turns out all this is a speculation that if all these expats are leaving the Middle East and moving back to London, then maybe rental prices in London are now going to go up, which that's just ridiculous clickbait headline, which apparently is common for the Daily Mail. Again, I don't follow tabloids in Britain, but there you go. Um, yeah, I'm not going to comment on the messages on the side because I will cry if I do. And I've already cried once this week, and I will leave a link to that message. If there's one video I did this week that I want everyone to see, it's the prodigal son. Watch that. I'll make it a link above before this video is over. So my message to my sister, I'm not gonna get to there. Within the past, within the past 48 hours, I know 3 Brits and 1 American who have left this country permanently. Said, peace out, I'm done. I know one had it planned. The other 3, I don't think had it planned, but they just said, we're done. It's time to go. Meanwhile, I literally checked just before starting this video. The US government has acknowledged I exist, but they've not at all offered any assistance to me. And keep in mind, I was enrolled in the STEP program. I did all the things right that the government asked of me, and I had done them all. And so for them to say, "Oh, we don't have to send as many repatriation flights because there's not that much of a need." Well, you haven't asked me at all. Um, we are currently in what I'm all expectations was that today was supposed to be the first day of Eid. So you've all heard enough about Ramadan, a month where people go into fasting throughout the day and then at night. Anyhow, you know about that. Eid is a celebration at the end of Ramadan. The expectation was that Ramadan was going to end last night, but they didn't see the crescent moon, and so one more day of Ramadan. So Ramadan ends tonight at sunset. So basically, from where I'm making this video, 6 hours from now, Ramadan's over. Um, a common gift at the end of Ramadan is you go and visit people and you take a fruit basket like one of these. And so I don't know the cost of one of these fruit baskets, and I'm going to find out because I've come to know the guys at the shop. I'll find out because I'm just curious how much one of it is. But that's if you show up at someone's house, you bring one of these. Yeah, that's an Eid gift. So again, my original goal for today was to call this the primary sources video. You know, the reason that I post about the cost of fertilizer being as high as it is the fact that I'm going to pause as my dog is barking outside and I have to bring him in. Cujo! Cujo's back in. Um, I call this primary sources because, when what inspired me to look up the cost of fertilizer was something that my friend Rick Eichhorn, teaching economics at Co College, posted something about the secondary effects of the co increase in cost of energy. And I know that this region exports 50% of the fertilizer used in America, they get from this region. So the increased cost of energy, plus the fact that fertilizer comes from here, made me then look up the cost of fertilizer. And so I talked to some journalists that this is what they do for a living is follow this price. And I talked to a farmer that I grew up with. I talked to a couple of farmers that I grew up with, and one of them said to me, any any seed of corn that I plant in the ground, I am guaranteed to lose money given the price of fertilizer. So he's like, what do I do? So uh, why I call this primary sources is there is a whole lot of ridiculous information going out there. There is. And so I'm not saying I'm CNN or whatever, but everything I do, I have a primary source behind everything I say. Um, the reason I actually shared this particular picture is that I don't understand why Reuters is recycling. You'll see that it says 22 hours and then shows the same post that they shared this 3 days ago. So why Reuters is recycling a post that they did, I don't get. The co-connection on this is that the picture that they're showing here is the Dubai ports, the Dubai world, Dubai ports. And the co-connection to this is His Excellency Asa Kazem got called back into service to take over Dubai ports before the war started. This is pre-war. He got called back in to help clean up Dubai ports. He was going into semi-retirement, and he got called back in because the guy running it before got caught up in the Epstein files, and so they knew they needed somebody who was beyond reproach, just has a stellar reputation. And so they brought him in to serve as the chairman of the board and a new CEO, and they're cleaning things up. One way or another, before I leave this country, I'm going to meet this man. We've exchanged many messages, and he's a fantastic human being, but I've never physically met him. And so before I leave this country, I'm going to meet Asa, His Excellency, whatever. Come on. Last night I went to a loft, and on teacher's night at a loft, Wednesday nights at a loft, you get everything 50% off. And so the steak combo you see there, it's a prime rib, 11-ounce prime rib with mashed potatoes, grilled veggies, and mushroom sauce. It's a $40 meal, again, 50% off, so it's $20. What you see there at the top is the mezcal margarita. Um, they have a fantastic bartender there, Praveen. I'm going to send this video to Praveen so he gets to see it. He is truly fantastic bartender. Always tip your bartenders well. Um, and so uh, the part of the reason I'm sharing this is that at the end of the night, anyhow, after I had that margarita, had the meal, I was ready to go. I was like, okay, one more drink, you call it. And so he made the Blue Lagoon, which is the first time I've had it since the Sip and Stir when I shortly after, anyhow, since Sip and Stir in the early 90s, I've not had one of these, and it was delicious. So thank you very much. It really was great. And on that, I'm going to stop the share. Um, so for tomorrow, in the world of Reddit, they have a thing called AMA, Ask Me Anything. For tomorrow, I want to do, and if something comes up news-wise, I'll push it to Saturday. So, but within tomorrow or Saturday, I want to do an AMA. You all know me through Facebook, commenting on the videos down below. I actually see that I'm getting some feeds from Instagram. Don't send me a message on Instagram. I don't check Instagram. But you can check me, you can send me a message on LinkedIn. Some people are watching there. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can reply to a comment to this video. I don't care. I will find it if you go to any one of those sources. Ask me anything. There are certain very limited topics I cannot talk about. If I can't talk about it, I'll send you a DM. Okay. But everything else, yeah, I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. Um, I appreciate the fact that there are some people who are actually watching this. I'm actually surprised. I got a message yesterday from somebody. Anyhow, I got a message from somebody yesterday. I'm like, you are what? Really? So thank you. And it's gonna be okay. See you tomorrow.